taken the coming Monday to Wednesday of next week off work to redecorate. He loved his career as an independent assessor, but he was looking forward to having 0 foster care compliance forms to process for a whole 5 days. "Alexa, play my dinner party music." He wondered if his guests would like his playlist. They all had strong opinions about music, so certain artists had to be avoided. The device on the counter between the kitchen and the dining area glowed blue, but nothing happened. He could hear Evie remonstrating with Jakob that he'd made them leave too early. Jakob hated being late as much as he did, though. He waited for them to hang their coats on the banister, then led them into the dining area. "We're doing Negronis for those who aren't driving." He indicated the bottles assembled on the counter. Evie's flushed complexion brightened, even with her auburn curls in disarray. After removing her claret beret, she looked really well. She'd been in remission for a good few months, but she and Jakob hadn't told anybody about their ordeal. They'd dropped off the social radar for a while, but everyone's lives were so busy it hadn't really registered. It was so good to see them both. "I can't believe it was last May since we all got together." Evie nodded and focused on the bottles. "Have you got Aperol instead of Campari? I'll be flat out after one otherwise." "Got some here somewhere." Ted went to the cupboard the other side of the counter. "Jakob?" He tried to call him Jake in the past, but after a few beers one night, Jakob had made it clear he didn't appreciate it. "Nothing at the moment. I'll have some wine with my food." Which meant the usual. Jakob would abstain for half the evening, have a glass, quickly polish off a whole bottle, and then call them a cab. Ted turned to him with a wry smile. "Sure." "Positive." Jakob nodded earnestly. Not even a glimmer that Jakob knew exactly how the evening would unfold. Until he had that first glass, it would be straight-laced Jakob. After alcohol, the louder, red-faced and indiscreet version would appear. Ted was looking forward to him. "What's bubbling in there?" Jakob eyed the slow cooker. "Venison haunch in red wine. Since this morning." Jakob nodded his approval and flattened the blonde wisps of hat hair that stuck out from the right side of his head. "I'm starving." His hand scrabbled in the bowl of peanuts on the counter. "Warm yourselves up." Ted nodded to the tubular burner in the old fireplace, but noticed it had gone out. "Don't worry, I'll see to that." Jakob fisted some nuts into his mouth and went to stoke it. Jakob had put on a few pounds since they'd last met. He was over 6 feet and thick-set, but he had a definite paunch developing. All the couples coming were around the same age as he and Juliet. Ted had a good metabolism, but even running hadn't shifted his extra Christmas weight. Did he really have another 5 years' grace until he was 40? His older work colleagues assured him that was when everything started to conform to gravity. "Smells really good." Evie tugged the sleeves of her black sweater over her pale hands, leaned on the counter and fixed him with her green eyes. He was slightly relieved to have the counter between them, and felt as he always did when it suddenly seemed like it was just the two of them. He'd never told Evie, but she reminded him of a ginger-haired classroom assistant he'd had a crush on at school, and she frequently made him feel like he was back in the playground. Particularly as, like Jakob, she was a teacher. "Trip to the field still happening this year?" Ted knew it was an ongoing saga. She pursed her lips. "No, it's all about money and time. And still money." Jakob hadn't been home to see his family for years. They were spread all over Norway, and a trip had been on the